done my BSc and MSc from Amity University, BSc in Fashion Design and MSc in Fashion Textile Merchandising. So today I'm going to present theories of fashion, how fashion moves. First theory is trickle-down theory, how the fashion moves in the hierarchy of the society. The trickle-down theory explains the distribution of fashion and the movement of fashion is from top to bottom. From top, we have our high-end consumer, our high-end market brands, and the designer designs any new fashion, new style, and the new customer accepted, the innovator customer accepted, which are very keen for new design and new fashion trends. After that, the middle income group accept the fashion, and after acceptance of middle income group, the lower income group accept the fashion. This is some examples like Jackie Kennedy's pillbox hat, and Barbara Bush pearls, and Hillary Clinton's pantsuits. These are the designs which are designed by the designer for the particular high-end customers, and after that every end of the social society accept the designs. Trickle-up theory, it's the newest fashion theory. The innovator initiates the designs, as in this theory the design goes from bottom to top. The new innovators, the normal, the streetwear, you can say like punk look or emo look or body tattooing, sun tanning. These are the new styles which are innovated by the new daily routine people, and after that the designer get inspiration from these designs and designs for the customers. These are some examples: Rebel Without a Cause and A Streetcar Named Desire. In this movies, the movies show that an undergarment can be wear as a daily use garment. For the t-shirt, the punk look. Trickle across theory. Trickle across theory shows that the fashion moves from the fashion continue moving from one hierarchy to the other, from one social status to other in the same period of time. For example, a designer design a full-length gown. At this same time, the middle income group designer designed the floor length gown for them, but at a lower price. But at the same time, after just a few months, the lower income group designer designed the floor length gown for them. So at that point of time, the design is continue in the market for all the income groups. What is fashion life cycle? It shows the movement of fashion, how the fashion moved throughout its life. Actually, the x-axis shows the time and the y-axis shows the number of adopters. The number of adopters are the customers which adopt the fashion throughout its life cycle. First, we have the fashion innovators, our designer who innovates the fashion. At that point of time, it's the introduction level and the new styles are introduced in the market. The new styles are have the basic features and are at the higher prices because of the inventions and new techniques. After that, we have rise stage. At that stage, we have opinion leaders who opt for new and innovative fashion, like our celebrities and high-end customers who are willing to try new things. And after that rise stage, we have peak stage. At the peak stage, this popularity at the mass market. The mass market follows the fashion at this point of time, and the product is available. The fashion is available at every store, at every middle-end store. After that decline stage, the popularity, the interest of the fashion is declining at this point of time, and the saturation period is about to come. At the decline stage, all the laggards who are the late adopters who who don't know the most fashion trends, who just adopt fashion by seeing the majority. Then after decline stage we have obsolescence. In this stage the laggards who don't know anything about the fashion, who just wear clothes which are already available in their wardrobes. Uh, these are some characteristics on the basis of which we are going to study about the stages of fashion life cycle. For example, introduction. At the introduction stage, the sales are low because it's the new garment, new design, and the customer are not willing to pay or not willing to experiment. So the sales are very low. The cost of the garment is very high because it's an experimentation. The profit is negative because the designer is more to design something, to innovate something instead of selling them. The customer are the innovators who are willing to try new things. The competitors are very few, and market objectives are to aware the customer about the product. After that we have growth stage. The sales of the growth stage is rising. More people are coming to know about the trends, so they are more open to the trends. After that, cost, high cost per garment, because now the designer are targeting the customers, so they are looking for sales. But at that point of time also profit is negative because it's just a rising stage, and the customers are not so much open to the design. After that, competitors are still few because not every designer can do an experimentation, and marketing objective should be maximize the market share. The more and more customer know about the design, so that they can buy it. Maturities, the sales should be at the peak. At this point of time, every middle end stores have the design, so at this point of time same sales are its peak, and the cost is low because we are targeting the mass market, and mass market only go for the product which are in their which can be in their budget, so the costs are low as compared to the others. Profit are high because of the mass market, the number of product are high, the production is going in bulk. Customers, middle majority, as it is catered to the mass market. Competitors are rising as because everyone can design now. The product are already in the market, so it's and decline stage. The sales are declining, the cost is low because it is the decline stage. No one is going to invest, no one is going to invest more money in this. Profit is declining. The customers are laggards who don't know more about fashion, and competitors are declining in number because no one is willing to pay for the product. Market objective is to reduce the expenditure, as because if we are investing more money in a decline stage, which a product is going out of fashion, and there is no point of investing money in that. Strategies, at the introduction stage, product should be basic, and the price should be cost plus, as there is no point of earning profit. Distribution should be selective distribution so that the customer can find the product easily. Advertising should be more because it is the early stage, and the adopters and the customers are still not do not know about the product. Sales promotion, wide range.
Anuja, why is it important for a fashion student to know about the theories?
Because after understanding the theory, they can know how the fashion works, how it moves. After that, they can design only. They understand not only the designer who are there to design something, you can also get inspiration from the street.
My question is, how important is it for me as a fashion student to understand the movement of fashion? How will it help me in my career?
Actually, the stage is also linked to the stores, to the brand. What, for example, the introduction stage is related to the designers who are the innovators of the high-end brands, and the growth stage is related to the high to middle group of the brands. So if you're designing for the introduction stage and you're a student and you're going to design for the introduction stage for the fashion show, like for the annual fashion show, every
Design
student
will be design.
design
It
will
is,
be
it is the
design.
same thing that goes through the whole phase. I don't specially design for introduction.
But the design has its features. At introduction stage, the features are different for the fashion and
Beta, the product remains the
Where
same.
is the beta coming from?
I mean, like the product remains the same.
Yes,
See, every product, what she's trying to say, every product goes through the same channel.
same channel.
Yeah,
A
so you
product-
cannot say that I have done this only for introduction and my product would not go to the growth and the maturity.
Yes, you're correct. But a product life cycle is different from a fashion life cycle. At a product life cycle, introduction stage says that the product should be in the simplest form. But in a fashion life cycle, at introduction stage, there are more and more extreme fashion elements in that stage.
How it is helpful for a student?
It's helpful for a student because he or she can understand the cycle so that he can design accordingly.
Do you have any experience
Yes, one.
in terms of teaching?
Yes, one.
Where?
JD Institute of Fashion.
Where, JD?
East Delhi.
East. Okay, can you differentiate between Pret and haute couture?
Yeah, Pret is a ready-to-wear garment and haute couture is for the customer, for the high-end customer, for the customized garment with high finished fabrics and techniques.
So where does it fit in this cycle?
Haute couture come at the introduction stage and Pret is come at the maturity.
And
Maturity, decline and
who are fashion victims?
fashion victims, basically fashion victims are those who follow fads, who just follow the one or two innovators or the fashion icons, who just follow any style which are available in the store or who see a movie and start wearing that garment, that kind of garment.
What all subjects do you teach?
Forecasting, marketing, merchandising,
What are the tools for forecasting?
Research, history analysis, and
And how do I forecast for the upcoming season? I should be up with certain tools.
what the process I follow is studying the history of the past 5 years, and after that past 5 years in terms of silhouettes, in terms of colors, in terms of textures, fabrics, and accessories, fabric ornamentations.
And how does that help you to forecast?
After researching about the last 5 years, I'm going to segregate all the things which are moving forward. Like in 2010, we have sequence work, and 2011 the sequence work are still there. But in 2013, instead of sequence work, there are also other blinky work like stone work or anything else, and it continues to the other levels. But there is blinky works, but not sequence. The embellishment is changing. So at the current state or for the further years, I want to research about what are the next material is going to available in the market instead of sequence and instead of stones. Similarly, for the silhouettes, we follow the pendulum theory. Pendulum theory states that a fashion move from one extreme to another. So, like for the skirts, if 2010 we have a short skirt, then the movement of length of the skirt is going to increase, and after the extreme point of the length of the skirt, it's going to decrease gradually.
Okay, can you also specify an example or give us an example of fad classic?
Fad the ear cuffs or neon colors, and for classic we have saris and jeans and basic t-shirts, polo neck t-shirts.
Is it the jeans or the denim? What's the difference?
Denim is the fabric, it's a cotton, basically a yarn of cotton. So
Yarn of cotton with?
basically cotton is the yarn, to make denims, and the jeans is the fit of the garment is jeans.
Which weave is used in denim? I think that's what.
Do you have any experience in production also?
I've done internships in several export houses, so a little bit.
Don't you think is it required to spend some time in production to get your whatever you have studied till your masters?
Actually, I like teaching, so that's why
For effective teaching also, you should have some industry experience at least for
yeah,
few years.
I have recently started visiting more export houses so that I can learn more for teaching.